Okay, so are you ready for a deep dive today? Because this one is pretty powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
We're diving into Maddy Ritchie's autobiography, She Will Always Carry On.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and we've actually got excerpts from the book itself, but then also some additional reflections from her mom, her brother, and a close friend.
Oh, wow. So we're really getting the whole picture.
Yeah, it's like a multifaceted look at her story.
And it's great that we're getting, not just the medical facts, but also the emotional and spiritual side of things, too.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so interesting. I think, right away what struck me was how relatable Maddy was before cancer even became a thing. Graduating high school planning trips. She even talks about getting her first tattoo.
It's like those universal experiences we all go through.
Totally, like classic teenage stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
She even mentions, belting out my Sharona at school.
Oh, I love that song.
Right, so it's like you immediately connect with her as a person.
You can just tell she's, full of life.
Exactly, and then bam, cancer hits.
Yeah.
And it's just this stark reminder that it can happen to anyone.
It's true. You just never know.
But at first, I know she's just dealing with these everyday aches, fatigue, that kind of thing.
Yeah, which is so easy to brush off.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even this line where she's joking about the lump she found being from sitting too much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dark humor. But that's Maddy.
And sometimes laughter is the best medicine, especially when you're facing something as serious as cancer.
Absolutely. It's a coping mechanism, right?
Definitely.
But here's the thing. Even when she goes to the doctor, neither she nor her family are oh, it's cancer?
It wasn't even on their radar.
No way.
Yeah.
But then comes the biopsy.
And the diagnosis rhabdomyosarcoma, which is incredibly rare.
Especially for someone Maddy's age, right?
Exactly. We're talking about a cancer that develops in soft tissues, usually muscles, and it often affects kids and teens.
So she's just starting her life, and then this.
It's just heartbreaking.
And the way she describes that biopsy day is so vivid. Imagine this. You're out shopping with your mom, totally normal day.
Yeah.
And then, bam, a frantic call sends you rushing to the hospital.
Oh, wow. Talk about a gut punch.
I know, right?
Yeah.
One minute you're picking out jeans, the next minute you're facing a life-altering diagnosis.
It just shows you how life can change in an instant.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And Maddy captures that feeling perfectly in the book. She talks about this internal monologue. She has almost like she's apologizing to her body for not listening to the warning signs.
It's that moment when everything clicks, right? The fear, the uncertainty, it all comes rushing in.
Exactly. And then the doctor says the word cancer.
Stage 4, to be precise.
And that's where it gets really heavy.
It means the cancer has spread to other parts of the body. And with rhabdomyosarcoma, that's a very serious diagnosis.
It's the kind of news that can make you feel completely powerless.
Absolutely.
But here's what I find incredible. Even in that moment of despair, Maddy declares, I'm going to be okay. I have a purpose.
Wow, that's powerful. It's like she refused to let cancer define her.
Exactly. It's like she decided then and there that she had too much life to live, too much purpose to fulfill. And that's really the thread that runs through her entire journey, this unwavering sense of purpose.
That's incredibly inspiring.
And she really does take that purpose and runs with it right from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first things she does is announce her diagnosis on Facebook.
Wow.
I know, right? Talk about owning your narrative.
That's pretty amazing. Especially at 17. I mean, that takes guts.
Seriously. It's like she's saying, this is happening to me, but I'm not hiding from it.
Exactly. And it's a really powerful way to take control of the situation when so much feels out of your control.
Totally. And then there's the hair.
Oh, yeah. She decides to shave it off before chemo.
Which is a huge decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for women. Hair can be such a big part of your identity.
It's tied to your femininity, your self-image.
Exactly. Yeah. So for Maddy to reclaim that moment, choose the when and the how, it's really powerful.
Like she's saying, this is my body, my choice.
I love that.
And you know what? She even kept the hair.
Really?
Yeah, she talks about how much it meant to her, so she kept it.
Yeah.
It's those little details that just really give you a sense of who she is.
Absolutely.
But, amidst all of this, she's about to turn 18.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Talk about a time when life should be just beginning.
Right. You're on the cusp of adulthood figuring things out.
Suddenly everything's on hold.
Exactly. And Maddy talks about that a lot. Seeing her friends go on trips, start college while she's stuck in the hospital.
It's that feeling of being left behind. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That sense of isolation can be really tough.
And speaking of the hospital, the chemo, Maddy doesn't sugarcoat any of it.
Oh, no, it's brutal.
She describes the good days, the bad days, and then the days where you're just existing hooked up to machines.
It takes a toll both physically and emotionally.
Right. Totally. And there's this one part in the book where she talks about getting gifts from the Starlight Foundation.
Oh, I love that organization.
Me too. And she talks about how those little gestures, those little gifts, just brought a bit of joy to her hospital room.
It's the little things, right?
Exactly. And then there's this journal entry she shares.
Oh, wow.
And it's raw, it's honest. It really gives you a glimpse into what she's going through.
That's so powerful.
It is. But here's the thing. Even in those really tough moments, Maddy actively chooses positivity.
You mean like her mindset?
Yeah, like she talks about doing visualization exercises, picturing this green light filling her body, the tumor shrinking.
Wow, it's like she's willing herself to heal.
Right. And I was curious about that, so I did a bit of research.
Oh, cool.
And it turns out that visualization can actually be really helpful for patients.
Like a mind-body connection kind of thing.
Exactly. It's not a cure-all or anything, but it can help manage stress, reduce anxiety, and even potentially improve their well-being.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's about empowering yourself even when so much feels out of your control.
I love that.
And Maddy doesn't stop there. She also explores alternative therapies.
Oh, like what?
Like frankincense oil, black cumin seed, things like that.
Interesting. And I'm guessing this is all in addition to her conventional treatment.
Oh, absolutely. She's not ditching the chemo for essential oils or anything.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But it's like she's taking this holistic approach, exploring every avenue.
And for some people, those alternative therapies can provide a sense of peace or control.
Yeah, exactly. It's about actively participating in your own healing.
I like that.
And then in the middle of all this, she turns 18.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's her birthday. And it's this crazy mix of celebration and chemo-awkward encounters with friends who don't know what to say. And then she even wins big at the pokies.
You're kidding?
Nope. It's like a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And she doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either. Like she talks about having this breakdown at dinner that night.
It's real. It's raw. It's life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her story so relatable. But you know what I thought was really interesting? How the book doesn't just focus on like Maddy during treatment.
Yeah.
It actually takes us back to her life before cancer.
Right. Which is so important for context.
Totally. And it's not like some, highlight reel either.
Oh, no.
It's about understanding who she was as a person, the struggles she faced.
The stuff that makes her human.
Exactly. Like she talks about wanting to fit in, questioning her faith, even the ups and downs of her previous relationships.
Which makes sense, right? She's like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, she's trying to figure it all out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a really pivotal time in anyone's life.
And then cancer hits and it's like everything gets put on.
Right.
Fast forward.
In a way, yeah. Like it forces you to confront these big questions about life and death and purpose.
Totally. There's this one story I wanted to mention because it really stuck with me.
Okay.
So Maddy's talking about her time at a Christian school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she mentions how someone told another girl not to talk to her because she wasn't religious.
Seriously?
Yeah. And it's just this small detail, but it speaks volumes.
Totally. It shows you that she was already questioning things, marching to the beat of her own drum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then cancer hits and it's like, okay, time to figure out what really matters.
What actually aligns with your values.
Yeah. And she really does. But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Of course not.
Like she's honest about the challenges to her body image.
Yeah.
The frustration of watching her friends move on while she's battling cancer.
Right. That feeling of being left behind.
Totally.
Yeah.
But here's what I love about Maddy. Even in those moments, she finds ways to reclaim her agency.
Like what?
Like refusing to wear a wig.
Wow.
I know, right?
It?
She embraces being bald. Societal expectations be damned.
That's amazing. It's like she's refusing to let cancer define her.
Exactly. And that strength, it extends to her relationships too. Like she talks about her boyfriend at the time, Mr. X. And
yeah.
It's clear from the book that their relationship wasn't healthy.
Which, unfortunately can happen when someone's going through something as intense as cancer.
It's true. It puts a strain on everyone, even with the best intentions. Sometimes loved ones just don't get it.
They don't know what to say or how to act.
Right. And it can create this disconnect.
Totally.
Like there's this one part where Mr. X is talking about having kids after treatment.
Oh, gosh.
I know. And it's clear he's totally missing the mark on how cancer might have impacted Maddy's fertility.
It's like he's not even acknowledging that reality.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking, but it leads to this incredible turning point.
What's that?
Maddy ends the relationship.
Wow.
Yeah. She realizes she deserves better. That her health, her well-being has to come first.
Good for her. It's about recognizing your own worth.
Exactly. And the book doesn't just focus on Maddy's perspective. We also hear from her mom, her brother, and a close friend.
Oh, that's cool. It's like getting different pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, you feel the emotional weight on everyone, not just Maddy.
Right, because it impacts everyone around them, too.
Totally. Like,
Yeah.
her mom actually quits her job to care for her.
Wow.
And her friend can barely hold back tears when she talks about it.
It's heavy stuff.
It is.
Ah.
But it's also inspiring because you see how Maddie's strength gives strength to others.
Like her brother mentions that.
Yeah, he talks about how her resilience motivates him.
It's like a ripple effect.
And then comes radiation.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's a whole other beast.
Maddie doesn't hold back on the details either.
What do you mean?
Like, she talks about the burns, the pain, the way it just completely takes over your life.
It's intense.
It really is.
Yeah.
But then there's this incredible moment where she's in the waiting room for one of her treatments.
Okay.
And she meets this woman.
Yeah.
And this woman, she also had stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
And she basically gives Maddie this glimmer of hope. She talks about defying the odds about having children, even after being told it was impossible.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's like a reminder that there's always hope, even in the darkest of times.
Right. And it's not just strangers who offer support. Maddie's relationship with her mom, while definitely tested, is a constant source of strength.
Yeah, they seem really close.
They do. But there's this one moment during radiation where Maddie's like, I can't do this anymore. I want to stop.
Oh, gosh. I can't imagine being in that position.
And her mom, she pleads with her to continue.
Right. Because she wants what's best for her daughter.
Exactly. But it's also a reminder that there's no easy answer in these situations.
One word answer.
It's about finding the best path forward, even when it feels impossible.
And sometimes that path looks different for everyone.
Exactly. But then just when you think it's all doom and gloom, there's this scene where Maddie goes quad biking with her family.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
Oh.
You can practically feel the adrenaline, the wind in her hair.
Feels like a breath of fresh air.
Totally. It's
Yeah.
this reminder that even in the darkest of times, joy is still possible.
And important to seek out.
Yes. And as treatment progresses, we see Maddie's spirituality really deepen.
Oh, interesting. How so?
She starts meditating, visualizing, connecting with something bigger than herself.
Like finding her faith?
In a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's more than that. It's about tapping into this inner strength, this inner peace.
That makes sense, especially when you're facing something as challenging as cancer.
Right. And she describes these, like, really vivid meditations. Like,
Right.
picturing this green light enveloping her body, her cells rejoicing.
It sounds almost meditative just hearing you describe it.
It is. And she
Mhm.
also explores, like, chakras, energy, healing, all these different modalities.
It's about finding what works for you, right?
Totally. And it's not about ditching conventional medicine. It's about complementing it with these other practices.
Right, a holistic approach.
And then she finds this amazing community, too.
Oh, yeah.
She joins this women's group, and it's like, they just get it.
The power of shared experience.
Right. They've been through similar things. They understand her struggles.
It's like finding your tribe.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, Maddie, is NED?
NED.
No evidence of disease.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Treatment is over.
What a relief that must be.
I know, right? But she's also really honest about the lingering side effects, the fear of relapse, the uncertainty about the future.
Because survivorship is a journey in itself.
It really is.
Yeah.
But through it all, she never loses sight of that core purpose.
Living her life to the fullest.
Yes. And using her experience to help others.
That's so powerful. And it's a good reminder for all of us
What's that?
that even in the face of adversity, we have a choice.
We get to choose how we respond.
Exactly. We can choose hope. We can choose resilience. We can choose to live our lives with purpose.
Maddie's story is a powerful testament to that.
It really is. And on that note, I think we've done a pretty deep dive today.
We have. It's been heavy, but also incredibly inspiring. Maddie's journey is a reminder that even when life throws its worst at you, there's always hope. There's always a reason to keep going.
And that we all have that strength within us.
We just might need a little reminder sometimes.
Absolutely. So thank you for that reminder, Maddie.
Yes, thank you, Maddie.